Welcome back, and it's the face-off. It's the East African community that we are focusing on. In studio, Charles Rumshana, Honorable Jessica Erio, the Deputy Secretary General for Production and Social Sector, Andrew Ruzekagwa, Executive Director of the East African Business Council. Baguma Tinka Richard, I'm your host today, and the numbers will be running on your screen. Oh, they're already running on your screen. We are ready and willing to take some of your calls. Please keep your comments short and keep them civil. Charles, before we went for the break, I was just saying that we are focusing on the global goals now, the post-2015 Sustainable Development Goals. The question of peace and conflict prevention is one of those that is being focused upon. From what you said, these seem to affect the integration process of the East African community.
You're talking about peace and conflict prevention.
Yes.
But here you have conflict promotion.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Explain that.
Yes. The moment heads of states meet and what is running in their mind is to isolate politically, militarily, and otherwise another state, then you already have a problem. And if you check the corridor, things are not well. Actually, now almost all of them are adorning military uniform. The other day, the Kenyan president, who either was civil, is now donning a military uniform. That has been the case here. Look at our history. Tanzania hosted, you have the correct English. I'm sorry about it, I didn't go through nursery. It was church school. Peace negotiations, peace conversations between RPA, of now President Kagame, and Habyarimana. And there was the Arusha Accord. What happened? They broke it. And says the Ichigari.
Who broke it?
The RPA. Mm-hmm. RPA and its backers. The same is true with the peace deal that was negotiated by the Arab Moi, Kenya, between NRA and the Rutwa, government of Rutwa. What happened? They broke it. In other words, you have a foundation of lack of honesty, you have a foundation of lack of integrity, you have a foundation of lack of goodwill. And now what do you have? Suspicion, you have mistrust, you have schemes and isolation. And he said it. He put the point clearly here that there is no commitment. My dear, you cannot, marriage is not the ring. Marriage is about commitment. And you don't have it. Now, so what you are having is a preparation for divorce. And the best method of divorce, if your wife has a smelly mouth, you invite your relatives and you ask her to serve them with beer, local beer. And she will be pouring in their cups as they smell, as they share in the other smell. And they will say, but you really withstood something very nasty. So when you finally divorce, there will be an agreement. And this is what is going on. But there is integration. We have Ugandans. Actually, the other day they robbed, the armed robbery of one of the vehicles of the president of Kenya. Why did it end? It ended in Uganda. That's integration.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
The Bakonjo in Congo, the Bakonjo in Rwenzori, they cross over to Congo. It's happening. So people have been dealing, the children of Tanzania have been studying from here even when there was no the East African community. But this thing you are talking about is purposely to facilitate those who root their own countries and where they would settle in the other countries. If that facility is not there, I can assure you it would break in a second.
I think I have somebody on the line. Hello? Hello? Now
and how will this company now compete?
The number is on your screen. One of the things that we would like to hear you. No, but actually the telephone companies are international. They are global. We don't have.
But here we
don't have local companies, and I think it is easy to integrate telecommunication services. I think that is very easy. But let's see if we can get you. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, you are welcome to Face Off. Your name and your comment.
Who is this one?
Oh, I'm sorry, you're calling WBS. You can call in, and the number is on your screen. We would like to hear your views. We are talking about the East African community. And Honorable Erio, Charles Romshana says instead of promoting integration, disintegration is being promoted.
I really don't know on what Charles is basing his allegation. But I would like to say that in the summit of heads of state of East African community, they discuss a lot of issues, including
I think we have
issues.
somebody online. Hello? Yes, you're live on WBS. Your comment or question? Oh my God.
Including issues
Yes.
of conflict resolution. And sometimes there is a one-to-one discussion, and at times they discuss them together. But I cannot reveal what goes on in a summit discussion. But
No,
I must say,
we wouldn't
this-
expect you to reveal that.
but I say this with confidence, that there is a lot of discussion on issues of where conflicts are arising, how do we resolve them, and things like that.
Do they?
And yes, they do.
Uh-huh. Hello?
No, this is Bangladesh.
Yes, your comment or question?
I'm working Mr. Charles.
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yes. So when you go to Kenya and Uganda and you compare with the countries, you have different ideologies, so that thing cannot work. So,
Yeah.
Thank you. That is his comment. But the number is on your screen. Kindly call. Honorable Rio, you were saying it can work. They are saying it can't work.
Well, I should tell him that in marriage, people still come with different ideologies, with different beliefs, with different ideas. But there has to be some convergence. You can't agree on everything. But what is the common good that you should agree on? I would like to say it's not perfect. You can't find human beings who are perfect. You can't find countries who agree perfectly on every issue. So there will always be some disagreement, and that is why time to time we have a number of fora where we get together to discuss those specific issues and find areas of convergence.
I think it's gone off. You can still call. We would like to hear your discussions. The number is on your
The
screen.
recordings will break because we have poor regulation.
Hello. Yes, your comment or question. You are live on WBS TV.
yes, it is.
Good-
Thank you for the program.
Good evening to you.
Bye.
Your name and where you're calling from?
It's Asaf from Namungona.
Yes, Asaf. Thank you for calling in. Your comment.
Yes, currently having with the integration. If we are still have this barrier of 15% for keeping more than 40% of the youth, and 80% of them are unemployed, really. Security and employment must remain a very critical issue. For the state must consider first. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Security and unemployment, particularly youth unemployment. Do you engage with these issues?
Yes, we do. We engage on these issues. We have a specific committee, a sectoral council of ministers in charge of security. And we also have a sectoral council and a specific department on gender and community development issues that discusses youth issues. We just last year passed the youth policy, the ESC youth policy. Before the end of this year, we're going to have a big conference of the youth.
Okay,
in
another
East
caller is
Africa.
online. Hello, we want to have about 3 calls. Yes, your comment or question and your name. You are live on WBS TV? No, you try and call again. We can't hear your comment. I'm sorry. We have a few minutes to go. And I'll do a quick round. First of all, to the businessman, who we expect to lead the integration.
Yes.
If there is any light, I think we pick our last caller and then you answer. Hello, you are live on WBS TV.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, my name is Willis Smokers. I'm calling from Marala.
Yes.
I think the biggest problem is several communities. At the time of implementation, problem maybe one is likely to take up the presidency, maybe because of the time you have given the power, and others maybe they may feel they may never get a chance, which may put it in rotation. At the time it comes the chance to their country, they may not be in power. So when it comes around to those kind of issues, I think getting a commitment 100% from all these leaders will be a very big challenge.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And that will be our last caller. How much light, if any, do you see at the end of the tunnel? if any?
The light is there. And Richard, I want to acknowledge that there are enormous benefits of integration. As a business person, I look at the market. I'm looking at 140 million people.
In the 5 countries?
In the 5 countries.
And if you take Uganda as the increment, we add about 1.5 million people
Yes.
every year.
If I get Congo and Sudan, that's a benefit. The issue is that all of us, the 5 countries, everybody has a role to play. We have to get the commitment that we have the benefits. There's no selfishness. Because we have big economies and small economies. That should be also put into consideration as we move on. But the issue is that, are we committed to this integration? If we are committed, the benefits are enormous in terms of sourcing of raw materials, in terms of employment, in terms of skills, because there are countries which have enormous skills. Others have skills with so the exchange of skills, the movement of technology within the partner states. So in general, I say the benefits of the integration are enormous, and there's light at the end of the tunnel, but we just need commitment at all levels.
Charles, briefly.
Yeah, you see, is putting it as a diplomat. Because you are saying, is it business-led? If it was business-led, then those variables would work. This is not business-led, this is led by politicians. Bulk of them, guerrillas, not committed to democracy. Because if they are committed to democracy, then they would respond to the stimuli, i.e. the pressure of the voters. I think it's only Tanzania that may respond to democracy. Now, you see there is cynicism. If you move around Kampala, you will hear advertisements, I'm a witch doctor, Mutura Kungo, from Tanzania. This is what you have from the local population. The product that they have is a witch doctor, is the best witch doctor because it's from Tanzania. And you can't build on that. Now, when they are expanding integration, the leaders who are on the forefront, they get states they have annexed. So you find President Museveni pushing in to have Rwanda because he knows it is his. He's pushing in to have Burundi because he expected it to be his. He's pushing in to have South Sudan because he thinks it is his. And now, so that by the time you go to vote, you have a broke vote against the others. Then you have rivalry between Kenya and Tanzania. So there is no harmony. But if I have a hotel, I would employ a Kenyan because they have proved they can do business. If you are constructing a road, you will be very reluctant to employ a Ugandan driver, who will steal the fuel. So those are challenges, and therefore they permit movement of labor because of those specific problems. But at an integration level, there is a lot of malice that you kill your own local initiative to promote the Indian, to promote the Chinese, to promote the Japanese. Therefore, you build these markets for who? Besides, if you want to build a market, you must look at purchasing capacity. And purchasing capacity goes with remuneration. Your policy is no minimum wage. So you pay people poorly. So what would they use to buy? So you have a market of how many millions you're talking about?
140 million.
Of very poor people. You move in Kampala and you see most of these slums, simple toilets.
And Charles, those are the questions that finally I want to put, and you're concluding.
I want to thank you very much, Richard. Thank Andrew and Charles.
And
I would like to say, Charles does not attend most of our meetings where we have a dialogue to address these issues. Andrew does. So I don't think Andrew is just being a diplomat. He's being honest. He's being truthful. And I think that is the spirit that we'd like to have all our viewers out there having. They should have faith in the East African community. But if they listen to Charles, they're not going to have this faith. We would like to see the East Africans coming up, bringing their views on the table, understanding what...
Are you protecting Lake Victoria?
No, yes, we are doing. We are trying our best, but please, I did not interrupt you when you were talking, Charles. Please allow me to say what I have to say.
We have about 2
now,
minutes to move
the
on.
East African community is also working together to also access the bigger market of more than 700 million people of the tripartite between EAC, SADC, and COMESA. More than 700 million people. So when we work as a region, we want to promote businesses, and activities within the region, but also across our borders. And how do we reach there? We have to see, I agree that there are challenges, but that is where we have the East African community to identify those challenges, have fora to discuss those challenges, and make sure that we put in place laws and measures to address those challenges. And this is happening. So I thank you all, viewers, for listening to us. And I would like to call upon you to have faith in us.
Aren't you telling me there is this
And
bank
Charles
from
here.
Tanzania?
Yes.
I'd like to thank the
telecommunication
viewers. I'd like to
from
thank you,
Tanzania.
Charles
And this
Rumshana.
time is not enough. There
Yes.
are so many things we could have discussed.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much, Charles Rumshana. Thank you very much, Honorable Jessica.
And I would
Erio.
like to ask viewers to log on to our website,
Yes.
the ESC website,
Yes.
www.esc.int.
But
Very simple.
I think if
There's so much
I think
that
if
they
they
can
do
see
a
from
search
there.
for the East African
Exactly.
community, they will get it.
They will get it.
Thank you very
Propaganda
much,
they have,
Honorable
that's what they
Jessica Erio,
No, no,
for coming.
just
You are a
propaganda.
former minister, you are a
We
politician
have the
here.
youth, they are interacting.
You
We
are a
have
Deputy
very
Secretary General.
active
And tomorrow we are
interaction.
together again in Entebbe
Sure.
at that forum. I hope we can make sense.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bwana Kagwaruze, the East African Business Council, the ones that are supposed to lead
And you
the
also thank
integration. Of course, Charles, thank you, viewers. Thank you very much, especially for
For
those
being
of
controversial.
WBS TV. Have a good night.